Marcus Rashford injury struggles have gone ahead to increase, and Eric Ten Hag has gone ahead to give us a huge update about the injury situation of Marcus Rashford. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. We thank God for the gift of life, and here we come to really report to you what exactly is happening from the side of the training ground of Man United and why it said injuries are really accumulating at the club of Man United, as we really hear from a United correspondent that was suspended once he went ahead to put out a story that was really uncalled for, that players have gone ahead to obviously down tools and have gone ahead to obviously give Eric Ten Hag a very huge snag that they no longer want him at the club of Man United. That is Samuel Lucas. Smash the like button close to 200 times, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. Now, don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month, and this is what it means to obviously be a host of this channel. Second video of the day, and we really are running thick and fast. After this video, a live stream is gonna be made, I think like an hour from now, from the time of recording. Now, Ten Hag, after the game of Man City, was asked on injury, said, "I don't know, they had to come off, but I preferred to keep them, Rashford and Evans, on as the organization was very good. We had two players on the pitch which were not 100% fit, Johnny Evans and Marcus Rashford, but they gave everything like the whole team, and we are disappointed with the score." So these players came in through and they're really half fit, and they never really had all what it takes to play a full 90. And what Ten Hag did was to obviously exceed the number of minutes they're supposed to be playing because his team was really playing very well, and then he came up to say to it that they really get injuries. And it's really one of those things that are going to affect the season of Man United to the brim, because we all know how good the United team looks with its first team players, but because of other players that are really mediocres, you know, banger average, they cannot come out and really take us to where we deserve to be. And the team of Man United is struggling with injuries, and guess what? If these two are proven to be really adding themselves to the list of the already existing one, then it's really gonna be worse for the side of Man United and Eric Ten Hag, because how do you expect a manager to put in results when almost half of his team is injured? And it's not these other players that come in to do what we call a deputizing job, the first team players. Right now, Man United is having the following players out. Luke Shaw, first teamer, is out. Lisandro Martinez, a first teamer, is out. Then Rasmus Højlund, a first teamer, is out. Now, the others, like Harry Maguire, you can call him a first teamer because he has also gone ahead to make himself in the starting 11. Malacia would have gone ahead to do the backup job. The left back is also injured. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is also injured. Anton Martial is injured. Mason Mount is injured. And if you add on these other two, that means the manager has 10 injuries. And as we head into the game of Everton, we will really look to see to it that these other players really come back. But I know the injuries might not be serious, but an update is going to be given to us very soon from the training ground of Man United. I think they're going to return to training, I think, on Wednesday to train for the game that we're going to play on Saturday as we host Everton in the mix as a club of Manchester United. And it's really confirmed by Laurie Whitwell, a correspondent from Man United for The Athletic, that Marcus Rashford has been struggling with injury since the Nottingham Forest game, where he got sandwiched in between two Forest defenders. He was able to train each session ahead of the derby, but required attention from the club doctor, Gary Driscoll. So, Rashford is really having problems, you know, and that injury. I remember that time when he was really brought down. It was on Wednesday night, but it looked like it was something lenient, but it looks like it turned out to be something hard. But I always want to flip the coin, you know. I want to flip the coin in most cases to really get to know exactly on the other side what is really there. Now, because Marcus Rashford is one of the highly precise players, I think his PR machine is at work. They want to obviously paint a picture that he has been injured, that's why he's performing like that. Now, in the game of Nottingham Forest, he looked ugly, that is it. And even when he really had to really release his fellow players, he couldn't, you know. The game of Man City, scores a banger, but he misses out on two chances that everyone vividly saw that would have gone ahead to put United either 2-0 or 3-0. So this is being put out that he has been having an injury, you know, because he didn't really perform very well, you know. If we went ahead to win, you wouldn't have gone ahead to hear such a story, you know. But I understand that the players of Man United are really going through a hard time. And I really felt like Marcus Rashford went ahead to obviously walk the talk when they're playing against Man City. Remember the words he went ahead to put out before this game, that all those that are obviously doubting his commitment to Man United are really wrong, because he really loves this club to the bone marrow. That's what he said. But when you look at that strike he really went ahead to make, he really hit it hard and it really gave him a goal. But for we, the side of the fans, we want more from Marcus Rashford. That is it. Because if he had gone ahead to obviously score one of those 2 goals, those 2 chances that he got, that would have been great, because we've been crying for these people not to get clear-cut chances. And Bruno Fernandes released him twice yesterday, and he couldn't obviously score any of those chances. And that has come in to bite us back. So it's also biting Marcus Rashford back. You know, what makes you an elite player is to do what Foden did. If you score one, when one isn't enough for your club to win, you have to score the second one. And guess who of the 2 had better chances to obviously score? I think Marcus Rashford had 2 clear-cut chances to obviously score, and none of those clear-cut chances was even directed to the goalkeeper of Man City. So this is where we come in through and obviously say, no way, we are still demanding more for Marcus Rashford. But the goal was really good, but we had chances to really make it more and more and more goals. Then Samuel Lucas has come out and said the following: a minority of United players are concerned about the running demands from Ten Hag. Some players believe the intensity is too taxing after United's 62-game campaign last season, and the workload has contributed to the club's injury toll. Now, this is a lie. This is a lie. You want to tell me that Man United played more games than Man City? You know? Man City played 38 Premier League games, right? They played 13. I think that games in the Champions League were 13, because if you play in the final, that means you're going to have to play 6 games in the group stages. Then round of 16, quarter-final and semi-final, those are 6. Those are 12. And the final, those are 13. Those tally to 51. Man City, I think, played like 3 games in... They were not even 3. I think they played like 5 games. You know, 5 games in the Carabao Cup, because they are knocked out in the semi-final. So, in the Carabao Cup, they played like 3. That takes it to 50-something. After 50, then they went ahead to obviously put in what we call another run of FA Cup games. You get? FA Cup games were really played, you know, they are really played. I don't think we played more games than Man City, but Man City's squad has gone ahead to put in a shift, and that shift has gone ahead to obviously be seen by everyone at Man City. So you think Man City is having injuries like we are having? The answer is yes, because they reached an extent they're having like 8 injuries. But do their players perform? That is it. Why are their players performing? Liverpool is having injuries. Arsenal is having injuries. You know, Newcastle is having injuries. But the display onto the field of play is really different. You think it's the same thing with Chelsea? Did Chelsea play 62 games last season? The answer is no. You get? Arsenal has been having injuries. Did they play 62 games like Man United like season? The answer is no. So I want to come out and really dilute this lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. These players have been complaining before. When Ralf Rangnick came in through to be an interim manager for the club of Man United, do you know what happened? This guy was really complaining about how lazy the players of Arsenal, the players of Man United are. These players are lazy. They are lazy. They came out and told him, for us, we cannot really run as you want us to run, because we never really did a pre-season of this. Ten Hag has gone ahead to come in through. They've gone ahead to do a pre-season twice with him, and they're still complaining that they are running a lot. The mentality is not right. The mentality is not right. So All what they have to do is, we should do a clear out of players and get in players with an elite mentality at the club of Manchester United. So to me, that is really the biggest point here. The mentality is right. And which are those only players that are not going to hit, obviously, get injured this season? The list has 3. Diego Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, and Alejandro Garnacho are the only Man United outfield players who have avoided a layoff through injury so far this season. So, what's special with these 3 players? Nobody knows, but we should really get in players who are really competent. The problem is not that we don't have players. We have players, but when we miss out on our first choice players, we don't have players to come off the bench to come in through and really get the job done and dusted. That's the problem that Man United is having. For example, you know, look, for the right back, we okay. Bissaka is injured and Dalot is doing the job. Not so. For the left back, we are doing badly off because Luke Shaw is injured and the other player is also injured. And what's the name of the other player? It's obviously none other than Malacia. Go to the central defense. We are having Harry Maguire injured and Lisandro Martinez is injured. Rafael Varane and Lindelof can do the job, but because we don't have a left back, you see to it that Lindelof is being thrown onto the left back, you know. Then in the midfield, I think that's where we really have a lot of quality in the midfield. A lot of quality, because we are having Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro, Eriksson, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes. You get most of those players that play there are really fit. Right attacking midfielder, Garnacho fit, Anthony fit, Hamad Diallo fit. Left, Rashford fit, Garnacho fit. Center forward, no one is fit. Rasmus Højlund, he might make a surprise return against Everton. Then Anton Martial, that is mid-April. That's when you expect him to obviously show up for the club of Man United. So this team is really having injuries, and it is not really our case to answer. And I think we should get in better players. That is it. The mentality of these players is not right. If they are complaining about the intensity at which the manager is really making them run at, then they should obviously come in through and really repent. Because for the side of Man City, you saw to it that because they are used to this intensity, they've gone ahead to do the needful always. You know, when it required Man City to put in a second gear or a third gear to win this game, they did. And for Man United, when it required us most to put in another gear, we didn't. So that shows you exactly how bad it is for the club of Man United and the players that we are really having at the club that really do the job. Now, lastly, let's see what Ten Hag really said about this foul that was made on Marcus Rashford and his say. Because this foul, after this happened, that's when Man City went ahead to really score, I think, the first goal. They leveled up the game. And Ten Hag has gone ahead to say the following on the City goal, on the Rashford's foul before the City goal. It's debatable, and there was contact. A defining moment in the game. You know, in the full sprint, when you have a little touch, he loses the rhythm, and that's what happened. There was also the reckless action of goalkeeper of City on Garnacho, and then from a counter-attack, they score. However, we have had one bad performance, and that was last week against Fulham. From this year on, we've been progressing. We've been getting points back. There are many games to play, and everyone can beat everyone. Number five can also be a position for the Champions League. So, as I say, we have to fight for it. So, he's like, we should fight for every position as Man United, and we should really get going and going and going and going. So that is it from Ten Hag on the foul of Marcus Rashford that resulted into United really getting into the leveling position with Man City. But for me on that, I find it very bad that Marcus Rashford, after being fouled, whether it was a foul or not, he really kept himself on the ground, and we found ourselves in a position of really not getting him into the defensive pack, and our pattern was really dissolved. That is it. So I think we should really get the mentality. I've gonna hate to see games of teams where a player is forward and gets up. Right now, Arsenal is just beating Sheffield by 6-0, but by the time the game was 3-0, I saw a Martinelli running to the touchline to really go ahead and really make a quick throw in, because he feels like that's not enough. That's what we call right mentality. So if you look at the mentality of other players and you compare it to the players of Man United, we still have a long way to go in as far as mentality is really concerned. But it's all about getting in players with the right mentality. And the good thing is that we've gone ahead to get people at the top with the right mentality. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. What is your take on Marcus Rashford injury struggles that is going in through with Johnny Evans, and your thoughts are welcome in the comment section below. We cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, and 5 fingers out to everyone watching in through. I'm gonna really come live to talk to you, the viewers of this channel. Ciao, ciao.